began in 2020, if I'm correct. Well, I came in, I think, at about 2020, and I was brought in by a colleague who we had, we spoke a lot about, for instance, decolonization and things like that. And she saw how this fits into what we're actually doing by trying to bring in African knowledge into the global space, which can help us in all our fields, whether it's the mental health fields, whether it's scientific fields, whether it's the medical fields, to bring in ways in which we could assist and, you know, move the agenda for planetary health along, um, things that we can do to make the world a better place on different levels. So this is when I joined in 2020. And as we were going along, we had decided to, in order to manage the work, we decided to create action teams. So we had created, there's an action team called the Mentoring Research Network, which is run by Professor Mona. Uh, Wait, sorry, I need to get her surname. I'm so sorry about that. But I hope you'll get to meet her. I don't know if you're here, Mona. Is Mona here? No. Yeah, so she runs the mentoring network action team, and she's based in Egypt. And then we have the Arts, Culture, and Indigenous Knowledge Systems team, which is the one that I head. Oh, thank you, Nathan. El Sherbini. It's Prof. Mona El Sherbini, who runs the Mentoring Research Network. And she will, hopefully, if she comes up, she will, or if you've seen her pop up on their coffee page, um, we'll give you a little bit of an idea of what happens there. But it's basically the space for doing research in this field of planetary health. And so it invites all people from all walks to come and do that. Then the arts, culture, and indigenous knowledge systems team is the one that I head along with my partner, Vanessa Gus. Vanessa Gus is based in Brazil, and this is why I was saying that uh, while yes, we're Africa centered, but we're global South centered also. And she's based in Brazil, and we have Menzi Masego, who's also based in South Africa, like myself. Um, so Menzi is South African, based in South Africa. I'm Zambian, but based in South Africa. So we run that team. Then we are looking at awakening the other teams that we had planned for, the one like the biodiversity team. Also, we had the climate and community engagement team. And then we also had one for mental health. So there are all of these spaces. If you are willing to lead one of those teams, if you can, please do go ahead and join us and take the reins of it. It requires, a special type of love and dedication for us to kind of move these things forward. So um, that's what a coffee in very, very basic terms looks like. Um, so far, our executive team consists of uh, Nathan Uchiman, and Nightingale, uh, Prof. Mona, Vanessa Guz, myself, and Percy, I think. Am I correct? Yes, and Percy. And we bring our different strengths there to kind of assist in managing the space. Um, and you will get to meet us or meet everyone. So I think I've just given a basic overview. But what we want is everybody with whatever skills that you can bring into the space. I was brought in because my background is from the arts. And I was told it was too scientific a space. And we need somebody from the arts with a different perspective and creative ways of looking at how we can look at planetary health. And so that's the way I came in. Other people have other gifts, and we're really asking for you to engage from your strengths as well. And always remember as well that what we are trying to do is share and make these whatever research we do, whatever sharing we do amongst each other, we're also trying to make it accessible to the community because our point is about changing our global community. So I think I'm going to end there. And Nightingale is here now. I'll let her come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Walia, for a great welcome. And I hope you can all hear me. If somebody can just say they can hear me, then I will continue.
Yes, we can hear you, Nightingale.
Thank you. So, yeah, it's a beautiful day and a lot of beautiful conversations just about to happen. And we have three presenters, like you would all know, based on the introductions, as well as based on the flyer. And they're all amazing people and individuals in their own right, as well as community representatives. So I am going to start with our, how do I put it? So Myson is a tribal name. I didn't know about that until a few days ago. I thought it was an English name. But so Myson is how you say your name. And I want to invite you with a lot of gratitude that as a youth, you have agreed to grace to grace us with your wisdom from yourself and from your community. And I would like to invite you to come in and share with us, share a little bit about yourself, and then share with us what you have as a presentation for us today. And again, to remind us, just like Walia said, we cannot forget about the community as we talk about the many wonderful things that are happening globally, going deep into the communities. That's where we really, that's where the road hits the rubber or something along those lines. So Myson, I will welcome you with two hands, and we look forward to learning a lot from you and with you. Karibu, Myson.
Asante sana, Knight, and everyone that has joined. Thank you so much. So as I said earlier, my name is Myson Kipila from the indigenous Maasai community that resides in Narok, Kajiado, and Samburu counties in Kenya. I am a visionary leader and a tireless advocate for environmental sustainability. My early encounters with the natural world instilled a deep passion for conservation and climate action. My influence extends far beyond the boardrooms and conference halls. I'm passionate to see communities grow to their full potential within time, regardless of many challenges they face. I'm going to start my presentation. So welcome all. Community outreach is crucial for fostering connections, addressing local needs, and building a sense of unity. It promotes local social responsibility, enhances communication, and empowers communities to collaborate for positive change. Additionally, it can lead to improved relationships between organizations and the communities around, creating a more inclusive and supportive environment. I have taken part in the community engagements and activities severally, but one that was more conspicuous was participating in a program called Make a Girl Smile that actually happened when COVID-19 hit the world. This was a program that my peers and I plan to bring awareness on how majorly the girl child needs a lot of attention, and not just the girl child, but the children in a wider range. That possibly with the community's engagement made it a success. The program was brought about by an instance of a young girl who was using a blanket for a sanitary towel. That way, realizing how important it was for us to chip in the discourse. From the program, a lot more came up, ranging from FGM, that is female genital mutilation, because we know, we all know from the pastoralist communities, the prevalence of FGM is still high. We also had early pregnancies and early child marriage. Secondly, my peers and I took part in a program, Tembea Make an Impact, which was both an initiative to plant trees for environmental conservation and a program to mentor the young children go through education system. I engage in community events and workshops through listening and learning to understand community needs, concerns, and priorities. I organized and planned events that brought people together and address common interests towards a sustainable world. I also engaged the community through collaborative with local organizations to amplify a positive impact. We have challenges faced during community outreach, and I have a number of them, around 7 of them. So number one, we have cultural and linguistic barriers. Differences in languages, cultural practices, and beliefs may impede effective communication and understanding between outreach workers and community members, and mostly the children. Number two, we have the social economic factors. Economic disparities within communities can affect access to resources and participation in outreach programs, particularly among marginalized groups. We have number three, lack of awareness. Many community members may be unaware of the importance of children's health and environmental issues, making it challenging to garner support and participation even in the global world or space. Number four, we have resistance to change. Resistance from community members or leaders who may be skeptical of new approaches or unwilling to prioritize children's health and environmental concerns can hinder a positive progress. Number five, we have infrastructure challenges. Poor infrastructure, such as inadequate transportation or healthcare facilities, can make it difficult to implement and sustain outreach programs effectively. Number six, environmental factors. Environmental challenges such as pollution, lack of clean water, or natural disasters can exacerbate health issues for children and complicate outreach efforts. Number seven, we have coordination and collaboration. Lack of coordination among stakeholders, including government agencies, NGOs, and community organizations, can lead to duplication of efforts to gaps in service delivery. I would say this: addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach that involves building strong partnerships, tailoring outreach strategies to the specific needs of communities, and advocating for policies that support children's health and environmental sustainability. We have visions of a future community outreach. sustainability initiatives, integrating eco-friendly practices and promoting sustainable solutions to address environmental concerns within the community. Another point, we have empowered youth involvement, encouraging a younger generation to take part in the community. Sorry about that. We have empowered youth involvement, encouraging a younger generation to take part in shaping the community's future through mentorship programs and educational initiatives. We have cultural appreciation, celebrating and preserving the diversity of cultures within the communities, fostering mutual respect, understanding, and collaboration. We have responsive decision-making, implementing transparent and participatory decision-making process where community members actively contribute to shaping policies and projects. We have place-based planetary health. Place-based planetary health is an approach that considers the health of both individuals and the planet within a specific geographic location. This involves understanding the interconnectedness of human health, ecosystems, and the environment in a particular place. It emphasizes the impact of local environmental factors on community and health, and aims to develop strategies that promote well-being for both people and the planet in that specific area. We have a place for children in promoting planetary health. Promoting planetary health, recognizing the pivotal role of children is essential. Children are not only vulnerable to environmental changes, but also play a crucial part in shaping sustainability practices by fostering eco-conscious behaviors early on, educating them about the interconnectedness of human health and the environment, and ensuring a healthy environment for their development. We contribute to a more sustainable and resilient future. Empowering children to be stewards of the planet helps establish a foundation for a long-term environmental responsibility and well-being. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope and believe that whatever we've shared or whatever the conversation we have can really front for positive impact going forward. Thank you so much. My name is Mason Tula. I said earlier. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mason Kipila, for a great presentation, and thank you for also being, clear, concise yet very clear with what you shared with us. I want to invite everybody who is interested to ask questions or even make contributions, add to what Mason said. If you can, please feel free to post, do some posts on the chat, and then we will look back as we keep doing the presentations. What we will do is we will go ahead and ask a few of us that may have something to say to come in. But for now, I would like to invite our next presenter, who is James Olekisier, to come in. So Mr. James is another dynamic leader in his own right, again, in the community setting, and he is going to say more about himself, coming from a very interesting community background. So Mr. Olekisier, I'm hoping that you are present and able to, you're in a space where you can do the presentation or talk with us and share with us. Because I'm about to step away and let you take the space. So karibu, Mr. Olekisier. The floor is yours.
Asante sana, Nightingale, and our participant audience. Bonsoir, habari, namaste, and hi to all of you. Thank you so much for having me in this particular chat. And my name's James Olekisier. I come from an indigenous community called the Maasai. The Ma community are actually found in Kenya and also in Tanzania. We have several dialects, both in Kenya and Tanzania, around 17 to 20 subsections. My subsection is Purko, and they are actually residents of Narok and some parts of Kajiado. I am an indigenous leader and a patron of an El Cremisho community organization, a CBO, that actually help the community in Mau Highland. I'm also a member of management for some of the schools around, the head of El Cremisho community water and health projects. I am also a Kenyan government appointee on climate planning committee that is actually in charge of Mau Narok ward in Nakuru County. I'm also a climate change activist. Therefore, thank you so much. And I'm going now to start to present my presentation to you on promoting a healthy future for all by centering children and Ma and neighboring communities in Kenya. As you have heard, I understand the desire to promote a healthy future for all by centering children, and local communities in climate change and biodiversity efforts. I have a unique and a powerful role to play in this crucial undertaking of a safe, healthy future for our children, our local community, and the well-being of our neighboring communities. I consider the following aspects, like the challenges, opportunities, solutions, and co-creating solutions in line to the global sustainable goals. First, because we normally have a lot of challenges that affects children and communities around, like the marginalization. Our community for over several years, this Ma community and other neighboring communities have faced a lot of historical and ongoing injustices, leading to limited access to resources and education on climate change and biodiversity. They also lack recognition and respect. Traditional knowledge and practices might be degraded, hindering effective solutions and creating cultural social barriers. Another challenge is the limited resources and capacity building. Securing funding, technology, and skilled personnel can be very difficult, especially for such marginalized community around this place. Another one is the lack of essential need and basic priorities. Immediate needs such as food, water, transport, and communication, as well as healthcare, may overshadow long-term sustainability concerns. Another one is the effect of climate change and biodiversity caused by poor cooking traditional method, especially the three-stone fire of burning raw firewood. Our communities are now cutting the last standing trees and clearing the remaining native vegetation to pave way for agricultural and grazing fields. Also, massive destruction of water sources, thus increasing the effect of global change. Opportunities around this place is the unique knowledge and understanding of indigenous community. Our community have for many years have a generation of experience living in harmony with the natural environment, offering valuable insight for sustainable practices. Strong community relationships is another opportunity. Social cohesion and trust within our community can facilitate a collaboration and collective action. Another one is the cultural resilience and leadership. Our indigenous values often emphasizes stewardship and respect for nature, providing a strong foundation for environmental actions. Another is the growing global recognition. It's another opportunity for our community around this place. The international community is increasingly recognizing the importance of our community in leadership, in climate change, and biodiversity solution. For example, I haven't been invited to attend the high-level summit that was held in Nairobi, organized by the African Regional Climate Summit. I had also an opportunity to visit a well-conserved and preserved forest in the southern of France, a forest by the name Forêt de la Marseille. This forest is found between the border of Spain and France at the mountain of Pyrenees. I currently happen to be a member of the ACOPPHE in Africa region, with its headquarters based in USA. That is also another opportunity of the international recognition. We have solutions to such challenges. One is empowerment and the capacity building. Our community has been investing in education, public awareness training programs, and resources to equip our community members, especially children, with the knowledge and the skill to tackle climate changes by installing, because we have installed two schools, namely Naitoti Nadumolo Show Primary School with photovoltaic solar energy for digital literacy. So we are also looking into ways if we can be able to install one of the ICT resource centers in the heart of our village. We are also up in arms with the community, trying to set up a number of nurseries, 3 nurseries, with the exotic and indigenous trees. And also we are planting trees at schools, homes, and the main forest, the Mao forest. Number 2, intergenerational knowledge transfer. as a community, we have a tradition of impacting knowledge, traditional knowledge, from generation. We established to bridge the gap between generation by fostering dialogue and collaboration between elders and youth, ensuring Maasai traditional knowledge is preserved and adapted through forms of new technology like ICT. Therefore, very soon, together with the government, we try to establish an ICT resource center within our community. Maasai traditional literacy to be taught in school, like the TKK, Tujifunze Kikwetu in Swahili, a mother tongue curriculum for the ECD, elementary education for the young children. Third, a community-driven solution. Develop initiatives based on local needs, priorities, and traditional practices, ensuring ownership and sustainability. Number 4, collaboration and partnership. It's also a solution to our community to have interacted through sports, because it is so ideal when we make a partnership with other communities. It's a collaboration or cordial relationship between communities through sports, trade, manual jobs. The Mark community has actually built a cordial alliances with the neighboring communities like the Kikuyus, Kalenjins, Kisi, and other tribes that are actually migrating into Masaila. Religious setups, youth and women groups are also groups that would actually brings collaboration and partnership into this community. Ilkremishio organization, community organization that I had also is in collaboration with the community women, elders, for the changing of community livelihoods. NGOs, non-governmental organizations, Narok County government, and the national Kenyan government agencies, the French embassy, the French donor community, and the other research institutions like the Kefri, Kenya Breweries, the Fresh Crop, the Syngenta, normally come to our place here, and we work together to share knowledge, resources, and cultural exchange programs for our community. So in short, these are groups that we partner together and collaborate, and actually they bring positive changes and improve the lives of the community around this place. Another is the policy and advocacy. Our community elected leaders influence the decision making at local and national, and sometimes international levels, by advocating policies that respect indigenous Maasai rights. They protect biodiversity and support community-led climate actions. 7, access to safe, drinkable water to all. It is actually a benefit to the community. We managed to drill 2 boreholes for the community at a school called Purko Primary School that serve the primary section and the secondary section, the church and the neighboring communities. The neighboring community villages like Yengo, Kol, and Njoya villages. The community water point is installed by the roadside freely to make it easily accessible by the community members or any other thirsty passers-by, especially the young children who normally led their cows in the fields. They come because their homes are far from the grazing fields. They manage to come and quench their thirst freely without any interference. The second borehole we've dug at Ilkiremisho community, and it's situated at Naitoti Primary School, some 7 kilometers away from the first one, with a capacity, holding capacity of about 20,000 liters. This reservoir serves several villages, the 2 schools, the church, and its network of about 7 kilometers, which connect Ilkiremisho communal water or water points. 12 communal water points at Ilkiremisho villages. These villages, namely Iseuri, Olkeri, Ilkiremisho, Lemara, and Emilango. All of these villages are in the Ilkiremisho sub-location. 7, by supporting children education. It's also another benefit, and actually to our community. I initiated the installation of the photovoltaic panels for solar power at Naitoti Primary School and Nadumolo Show in Ilkiremisho. This has really helped children greatly in digital learning opportunities, social participation, and psychosocial support education. And 8, protecting children and women from potential harm and environmental hazard. By putting up water points at the convenience of their villages proximity, this actually helped the safety of our young girls and women. So it is actually it's also actually a benefit for the women and the young children. Community and children health. Since children and community health is paramount, so community health dispensary is essential for the well-being of the community. I had a CBO that invited our French donors to come and supported us in building up the health facility. So we constructed the Ilkiremisho Community Dispensary at the heart of our community. And very soon, the dispensary will be operational. The health facility, current health facility is very, very far. It's about 25 kilometers away, and the roads are not sometimes not accessible. So the dispensary at the moment is located at Olokurto ward headquarters. Olokurto ward headquarters is about 21 kilometers away from Ilkiremisho community. So you can see how this community has been actually with a lot of problem as pertains to health. And currently, we are working with the school management committees to develop a climate change curriculum and teaching syllabus for the school around this place. So in case the government would actually wish to start up with a climate change curriculum, it will actually be a plus to our community. We have also some other co-creating solutions. We organize community dialogues and workshops to encourage open discussion on climate change, diversity, and potential solutions. We do actively involve children, women, and the whole community. Second, we form community action groups. We often mobilize community members to implement a chosen solution, fostering participation and ownership. Third, we establish traditional knowledge experts. We have been looking forward to empower elders by giving them some stipends and cultural leaders to share traditional knowledge and guide good decision making. These are people who are actually human library. These are people who store a lot of knowledge, especially Maasai traditional knowledge. So we are trying to bring them on board. We identify them, and actually we try to motivate them by giving them some little stipend from within our community so that they can impart knowledge, traditional knowledge to the community. Fourth, we integrate traditional practices. We adapted and incorporated traditional knowledge and native practices into climate change and biodiversity solution, respecting indigenous Maasai cultural integrity. Therefore, the journey towards a healthy future all is a collective effort. By focusing on the well-being of our children, as well as communities, is the best way in addressing challenges collectively and leveraging opportunities. I played a vital role in line with the global sustainable goals and for a just world for all. I appreciate your audience, and actually I'm very much grateful. So I stop from here. I may actually come back again and let's just be together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. James Olekisier. That was a beautiful presentation. We really appreciate what you shared. And just in a few words to say that the two that just presented, Mr. James Olekisier and the presenter before that, that is Mason Kipila, I think we could say that they are an intergenerational team from the same community, different regions somewhat. And so what they were speaking is what they're also practicing. So thank you so much for that presentation, for sharing with us. It's a lot of amazing work that we would like to touch back on. But for now, we will proceed to our next presenter. And Mr. Alfred, if you are present, if you can please join us and share a little bit with us. So I think we will be hearing from a different angle, but still touching on the same very important.
Yeah.
So, Alfred, I don't know if you are able to unmute. Yeah, okay. Welcome, Alfred.
Thank you so much, Knight. Hello, everyone. My name is Alfred Kibele Se. I'm a Kenyan from Marsabit. I come from one of the minority group called Rendile community, who actually live in the northern part of Kenya. We are pastoralists, and we mostly keep camels and sheep because we actually live in the desert, and in particular between the Kaisut Desert and the Shalbi Desert that extend towards north to Ethiopia. So I come from a place where we actually experience a lot of challenges, and I just want to mention a few before I focus on each of them. And one of the major challenges in the desert is, desertification. And we have also the issue of food insecurity, water challenges, erosion of culture. And so I'm going to actually talk on each of the challenges I've just mentioned. So before I go to that, I would like to maybe brief you on my educational background, because actually I have two professions. I mean, my first degree is environmental science from Moi University. And I also studied in France, where I studied spirulina. And these two professions, I want to say, is one of the reasons that actually made me to actually see the way we could actually address some of these challenges, the one I've mentioned. So before I joined actually Moi University, my first degree in environmental science, we've been trying our level best to address the issue of desertification, because it was a big issue. And I actually worked with EMC, the Environmental Management Committee, an active group found in Kor, that is my village in the desert. So EMC is actually comprises elders and women, but mostly the men were the one who were actually very active, because women also had some other cause to attend to in the village. So one of the problems we identified during that time is the problem of desertification. We didn't have enough vegetation cover in the land. So what we did is we teamed up with the elders and decided to go to the bush or the surrounding and collect the planting materials of the native species around. And then we located a point where we had a seed bank that was around a water point. And actually, that is when I learned a lot about the indigenous knowledge the elders had in actually planting some of these trees. Because, for example, when we got the seeds for acacia, I thought it was just planting and then it grows, but the elders actually had the knowledge on how to break the seed dormancy, because they actually taught me on soaking the seed. One way of breaking the seed dormancy was to soak the seed for some weeks, and even like 3-4 weeks, a month. And then we had the area where we planted, I mean, with the bags, polythene bags that we used to germinate the seeds. So actually, in one of the seed bank, we had a variety of the native species, and we were able to have like 100,000 seedlings. And that is the time when I actually developed more interest on environmental matters. And actually, immediately after that program, tree planting program, I enrolled in Moi University, and that's when now I did the environmental science. And even up to date, we are still trying to plant the native species which are actually found in the desert. These are actually Acacia totilis, mainly it's Acacia family, Acacia totilis, Acacia nubica, Acacia senegal or Seal. We have Cordia sinensis, we have aloe vera, especially the type of aloe vera that we have in the desert is the true canadensis. And many more trees, especially the one that gives fruits like Begelo and other many native species. So right now, if you go to my village, I'm sure Night has been to Kor, and you've seen the number of the acacia trees that are found there is actually quite a good number right now. And but we are still moving forward, and we are still hoping to do more. And last year we planted also like 10,000 seeds of acacia totilis, and the main reason was just to increase the vegetation cover in the desert. Apart from these native species, we also have medicinal herbs. And I'm a herbalist, and I deal with natural remedies. So one of the activities that I'm doing right now together with the community is harvesting the medicinal material that are found in the desert. And these include, like Prunus africana, especially in Mount Kulal, and frankincense resins, myrrh resins, gum arabica. We have some special cactus called dolo that actually grows in the desert. It's one of the powerful herbs also we have. And we have also xanthosylum, which we call gaddaha, and Mycin africana, and many more. So you find out that herbal medicine actually, I have a business here in Nairobi. I have a company called Alse Bio, and it's the one that is dealing with natural remedies. And what we are doing actually is we are working together with the communities, especially 14 women groups in the northern part of Kenya. And we started this business because we've come to realize that our source of livelihood actually, camels and goats have actually reduced in numbers because of the droughts. And so we sat down and tried to figure out another source of livelihood, and that's now when we came up with the herbal remedies or natural remedies. And right now we are in business, and as you know, herbal medicine have stood the test of time since time immemorial. And about 80% of the population in Africa uses herbal medicine in one form or another. And also 25% of the drugs used worldwide are derived from herbs. So medicinal plants have evolved over the centuries as essential part of African civilization and are widely recognized today as representing its rich culture and scientific heritage. The increasing demand for medicinal plant products has renewed interest in the pharmaceutical industry in the production of herbal health care formulation, herbal-based cosmetic products, and herbal nutrition supplement. Thus, in addition to serving medical and cultural function, medicinal plants in Africa have economic importance. Right now, we have like 3 shops in Nairobi. Those are physical shops. We have one in the CBD. We have one not far from CBD along Ngong Road, is just within the city, not far away. It's like, let's say, 2 kilometers. And so what we're trying to do is we are trying to create awareness of the indigenous knowledge. I mean, the herbal plants or herbal medicine and the knowledge that goes with it. So apart from just getting the materials of these plants, we are also trying as much as possible to protect and plant more of these medicinal plants in the desert, because some of them are actually in the verge of extinction. And right now we are actually working on a way we can come up with seed bank around the village or the homesteads, where we can actually plant more of these medicinal plants, so that we don't put more pressure in the natural reserve. So I want also, that is now actually on the desertification, but I want now to go to another challenge, which actually one of the reasons why I went to France to study spirulina was because of the, I can say, food insecurity, because it's one of the challenges we are facing in the northern part of Kenya, not only in my village, but in the entire northeastern counties and even some other parts of Kenya. So, like I said, I'm a spirulina specialist. I did microbiology in France based on algae. So I specialized on spirulina, the blue-green algae, and the chlorella, the green algae. So back in the days when I was in the desert, you know, I've attended so many seminars and forums organized by the non-governmental organizations, and I've seen them, you know, addressing the issue of malnutrition year in, year out. And one of the reasons actually why I developed interest in spirulina was I knew spirulina is this is one of the solution to address about the issue of malnutrition. So if you look at most of the children in the northeastern, you'll find most of them are malnourished, undernourished, and actually even you find most of the people, because they don't have food, they are actually weak, especially the elderly. So one of the ideas I have was to, you know, use spirulina as one of the tools to address the issue of food insecurity, at the same time, you know, nutrition, health and nutrition for the children and elderly and weak people, because these are actually the vulnerable group in the community. So, so I came back from France and started my own farm, and actually I've also assisted many young farmers who are into spirulina farms in Kenya. So, the idea was to try to enable people to get this superfood, because spirulina is a complete food supplement. It has got all the vitamins, all the minerals, and all the vital nutrients that you need for your health. And you just need 5 grams a day, and you have all what you need in your diet. So spirulina is also a relevant project, because you find that the metabolic system for growing this algae is based on photosynthesis. And most of the northeastern part of Kenya, you know, the temperatures are high. And this could be actually an ideal place where you can set up, you know, these projects, or, you know, to empower the communities. First of all, for them to, you know, feed themselves. At the same time, for them to, you know, generate income from spirulina. So the idea is also to encourage, you know, women and youth and elderly people who have not got an opportunity, you know, to go to school, to actually learn how to culture this algae, so that it can bring, you know, income, and also they can be able to feed their families for them to solve some of the health conditions which are actually mostly seen in the community. So I think for my own point of view, it's time to include the study of spirulina in the faculties of microbiology and nutrition, and courses in the techniques for growing spirulina biomass in our agricultural school. It's one of the sustainable project, and it can actually solve so many problems, because also having spirulina basins or farm will help, you know, to address some of the issues that we are facing right now, like the emissions from, greenhouses, from the factories. So when you have spirulina around those, in the city or wherever there are factories, it usually acts as a carbon sink. So it's an ideal project that we need to actually have in Africa, majorly in Africa, because if you look at African continent, one of the major issue we are really, the major challenges that we are really facing is the issue of malnutrition. And I would say Africa has got one of the biggest reserves in the world, because, you know, all the water bodies which are located along the Rift Valley, along the trough, you know, Rift Valley start all the way from the Jordan, running through the Horn of Africa, coming down to Kenya, going through, for those who have been in Kenya, in the Rift Valley, going down to Natron in Tanzania, and, you know, goes all the way down to Mozambique. It actually ends somewhere in Mozambique, Beira in Mozambique. And you have also some water bodies in West Africa, like, you know, Chad, which actually support this algae. So I see Africa has got the biggest reserve in the world, and this could be a potential resource that can be tapped on to address some of the problems we are facing in the continent. So apart from spirulina, I remember when I came back from France, you know, we also started addressing, I introduced permaculture or kitchen garden in the desert, especially in Cor, where I come from. And I learned permaculture in France. So up to today, people are still practicing this in the desert with the help of the NGOs, which are actually running programs. And but most of the time, we have a challenge in even running this program, because water is a major challenge. So one of the biggest challenges we are facing in the desert is also water. And right now we have some hand-dug wells. We have some water pans which can just store water for a very short period of time. But the ultimate goal is to have a big reservoir to actually, you know, harvest this rainwater. The surface runoff during the rain season, because usually when it rains, we have a lot of water that goes on waste. Another challenge, you know, that we are facing in the desert, or maybe in the northern part of the country, or, you know, from also the minority groups in Kenya who live in marginalized areas, is culture erosion, and modern culture is now displacing the traditional culture, and we are right now facing a threat actually from the modern culture, because people are now trying to embrace or lean on that, on modern culture in terms of eating, dressing, and right now what we are trying to do, we are closely working with the elders and women groups in the desert to see how we can protect some unique aspect of culture, and these are like artifacts. So if you come to my community, we have different types of artifacts. If you just go into the Rendile hut, you will see several artifacts. Some are used to store milk and gourd, and so whenever we milk like goats and sheep, the milk goes to the gourd, and the gourd comes from some special trees in the desert, and it's actually women who knows how to actually make this gourd. We also have an artifact for milking the camel called han, and not han, but murub. I think Nightingale, you've seen this kind of artifact, and so this artifact is made from three. It comes from, it's made from three materials, especially the some are roots, some are barks. So we have we have one called hele. I can't actually tell in the scientific name, the botanical name, because I'm still doing research on them, and another one is called ergek. So maybe after some time I can be able to share with you the picture of these plants. So the women actually get these materials and they weave a hand from a hele, the plant material from a hele, and from ergek. So it's knowledge that is only known by the elderly people in the community. And what we are trying to do right now is to try to find a way of even passing this knowledge to the younger generation. Maybe like having a recreational center where the children could come and meet the elderly people, especially the women, and learn how to weave some of these artifacts. We also have some other special artifacts for storing water called han, and at some point I'll be able to share with you the pictures of these artifacts. We have some for storing, meat when it is prepared for storing meat for some time, and also fat. So the one we use to store the meat is called, madal, and the one we use to store the fat is called murub. So if you look at our culture, because we are Cushitic community, most of the Cushites, they have all these artifacts. So we share a lot. So I'm also trying to document some of these indigenous knowledge. And right now I'm working on my book. Actually, it's The Lost Indigenous Knowledge of Africa. So it's still underway. I'm still gathering a lot of information. And I'm sure once it's ready, then I'll be able to share with you. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share with you the ideas that I had for this presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me finish, and then I think that was maybe Walia speaking too.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to say thanks to Alfred, and it's been beautiful what has been shared. So I will just stop here and hand this over to you, Walia, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you so much, Brother James, Alfred, and my son. I mean, my heart is very full because I am getting to know people whose hearts revolve in the same space as mine to see Africa rise in the loving way in which we're meant to be, in the way of Ubuntu. So by all the projects that you're doing, especially working with kids, and bringing awareness to the communities, and us just adding on to the already existing ways of doing things and knowing, but remembering our old ways that have worked for us so well. I had a question for Brother Alfred. But before I ask that question, I want to say that this is now the time and space for us to have feedback from the audience. If you have questions or you have comments that you would like to put forward to our brothers here for their beautiful, wonderful presentations on the work that they're doing, this is the time. The floor is going to be open for that. We'll be sharing ideas and also just discussing what has been said. I've seen in the chat that our brother Menzi has spoken about learning something in terms of Moringa and what is that? Let me go up. I'll say there. Okay, I can't remember the other, but he talked about looking into the Rastafarian community. And also, they made a comment for Brother Alfred that we will definitely, he just said out loud what I was thinking as well, and I'm sure a few other people, that we are definitely going to support your book, especially for those of us interested in the indigenous knowledge systems. So I would like to say that the floor for discussion and idea sharing and questions is open. And I'd like to start with the question to you, Brother Alfred, about what the official consensus is in Kenya in terms of natural healers or herbalists and Western doctors and healers. Like, does Kenya's government have a plan in place that allows for these two professions to exist and for them to work with each other?
Thank you so much, Tess. I can say right now in Kenya, most of the people have started embracing natural remedies, and people are right now going towards that direction. Right now, I also work with Kenyan doctors. I work with a doctor, Dr. Bosire from Kenyatta Hospital. I also work with Dr. Suleiman from Aga Khan, and also Dr. Jonathan from Aga Khan. I work with Dr. Abdul from Nairobi South Hospital. And I work with also other doctors, outside the country. So what I can say is the government is actually advocating for the traditional medicine right now, because there is a greater potential in this sector. And as you know, many of our pharmaceutical industry here, especially the pharmacists and chemists, and even the hospitals, they're importing a lot of conventional medicine from abroad. So I actually work closely with National Phytotherapeutic Research Center. It's a center that actually promotes traditional medicine, and those who are actually running that center are these are doctors like Professor Gikonyo, who studied pharmacognosis, and pharmacognosis is the study of traditional medicine. So when I started processing the herbal medicine, because I didn't have a processing unit then, and I didn't have the machines, so I started working closely with KU, with Professor Gikonyo at National Phytotherapeutic Research Center. And I was actually there when it was launched. We were also in the media, Citizen. Maybe I can share the link sometimes later. So the idea of having that center actually came from Mwai Kibaki, because he actually embraced traditional medicine, and the idea was to promote the local herbalist in the country and to bring the herbal medicine to the market. I mean, doing some value addition and bringing those herbal medicine to the market. So, like I told you, I'm registered with Pharmacy and Poison Board. I have a license with them. So I'm also registered with KEFIS, where I usually even take my products for inspection. So, and that's also where I get phytosanitary certificate for export. So right now, the Kenyan government are advocating more on indigenous herbs and the knowledge that goes with it. Over to you, Tess.
Thank you so much, Alfred. That was Walia, but Tess, you can go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say over to you, Walia.
All right. No, it was me, Alfred. It was Walia. Nightingale, I saw you had your hand up. And everybody else, please feel. Sorry?
Sorry for that. I somehow confused.
No problem. Nightingale, I see you had your hand up. Any questions for Alfred? And everybody else, please feel free as well to raise your hand, and then I will call you up. Go ahead, Nightingale.
Yeah, thank you. So, Wadia, is it okay if I ask a general question to the speakers?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so really, as you guys spoke, one of the things that I keep thinking deeply about is this question of the indigenous knowledge and the loss, how quickly it is being lost, and a lot of it has come along with something beautiful, which is this other knowledge that is the modern knowledge that all of us are sending our children to school, or all of us have been sent to school. And so thinking about the spaces where this indigenous knowledge can be transmitted to these children, like from when they are young, like they used to get this, in the older times, we used to get this knowledge from our uncles and aunties, and our grandparents through storytelling. So we don't have much time for these visits to these people. How we can create these spaces and probably even have it be co-shared spaces, or like knowledge pools that are raised maybe by people from different cultures, just like you, the Maasais and the Rendile. So just wondering if any one of you can speak to this one, on how we can continue telling these stories, passing this knowledge, maybe even in the school setting. I think Olekisir touched on that, and I would like to hear just a little bit more about what you guys have thought about this, and how we can all work together to make sure that this knowledge actually stays with us, instead of just in the documented format of maybe books or the internet as history.
Can I come in?
Can I come in? Yes. Yes,
thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Knight, for that question. I want to specifically speak for my community, Rendile. Like I said, right now we are experiencing a culture erosion. And it's because right now, if you come to the Rendile land, you will find that there are two major groups when it comes to Rendile. We have the pure Rendile community who live actually in Kargi and Kor. And we have also these other Rendile whom we call, whom we refer to Ariel. Ariel are the Rendile found in the southern part, those who are actually bordering the Samburu. And one of the challenges that we have right now is the Ariel people don't speak Rendile. They speak Samburu because they have already interacted, they have already been assimilated to Samburu culture. So this has been our concern. And we've had several forums, and one of the solution we came up with to address this issue is, to start Rendile language in school as one of the subjects, or curriculum in school, where the children could learn the language in primary school. Because most of them, speak Samburu, and their parents as well. We are also encouraging, especially right now, the Rendile group who are actually in the city and other towns to be able, because most of their children don't speak the language, that for those who actually have jobs, if they have, is need for them to have house help or house worker, one has to get a Rendile, who can actually, come help, but also can, take some time, to teach the young children on how to speak, the Rendile. And we are also trying to come up with a resource center where we could actually have a curriculum where the children could come and learn, the Rendile language, also be able to read the books of, the Rendile books. And also at the center, we were thinking of getting the elderly people who have this knowledge, because I remember when we were young, we used to, get a lot of stories from our grandmothers and grandfathers. And this is also a place where they could come and learn, riddles, proverbs, tongue twisters. So And of course, we also want to document more of this language so that it doesn't go into extinct. That is my point of view.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Brother Alfred. There was someone that wanted to speak. I think it's my son. Was that you? Or James?
Can I? Hello.
Yes, come in, please.
Okay. It's nice that we have some suggestions of establishing museum like cultural hubs at village level. Every village should have actually an establishment with a type of cultural hub, a small house, or actually a reasonable house where experienced elders and experts from the community, both women and men, who can come and meet young people, those with the aim or actually uh, uh, who wants to quench and knowledge, traditional knowledge, or actually knowledge tapas. And actually, we can also invite experts from modern day the educational establishments who can come and publish into digital formats such kind of knowledge. So by establishing a museum like cultural hubs at every village, and these experts are called upon, of course, some rewards, because some of them are actually young, they are old, can actually help in restoring the lost knowledge, and actually they can impart knowledge to young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother James. Menzi, before I come to you, I just wanted to know if my son, as one of the presenters, also has something to say, and then we can go to the audience.
Thank you so much. So my take is we must first agree to the reality that we have lost our cultures. And I am so happy that we are actually starting to realize that. And I think one way of actually trying to rejuvenate our cultures is trying to take advantage of the elders from the communities in a way of documenting stories of how they talk, of how the vast cultures were, and trying to document for the generations after us, the innocent generation that is coming after us. So trying to document in form of writing books, about cultures, documenting them in form of, putting live stream, maybe in YouTube and so forth. Another thing is to try to have training centers from maybe because that will help a great deal. So
Okay. Thank you so much, my son, for your response. Those are indeed very interesting ways in which we can, preserve this knowledge. So I've written down language. Language carries a lot of information. As you know, we might have 5 different ways of saying one thing, and English only has one way of saying, or whatever other colonial language that we use. And then I've written, so our languages carry a lot of data and a lot of information. So trying to maintain the languages in schools and that sort of thing. And then a resource center where we can actually teach kids. I think of Menzi, I hope you can speak on this at some point, maybe not today, but the next time we meet, where we have what we call the Africology Center. So it's in Durban. And I realized that a lot of people don't know about this, and this is where we have a lot of knowledge about our political and other things to do with Africa, but our students have no clue about the center. And I feel like it's a very important center. So building spaces like that, but also finding ways to make sure that we can come to those centers, we can make them inviting and appealing, and to bring our kids to those spaces, because it's definitely losing a lot. And then the last person, my son just spoke about writing books and basically spoke about documenting. This is a very important thing, and it's so much easier in our with our technology these days. You don't have to sit and write diaries, and by the end of 300 and what 65 days, you have like 2,000 diaries because you ran out. No, now you literally can video record things, audio record things, and that sort of thing. So that's where we are so far. Menzi, can you come in? Then after that, I don't know if Nightingale, you still want to go, or can we give our guest Abdi Nasir, or Nasir? I'll call you Nasir for short, if that's okay with you, if it doesn't offend you. So Menzi, come in, please, and then Abdi Nasir, then you can come in after you.
Okay, greetings everyone. I'll just be short, quick about it. Thank you first, and appreciate everything that has been shared in this group. My heart is vibrating on a high level. Just hearing other Africans speaking about the same thing that we are speaking about, all in every province of Southern Africa. And I know that in East Africa, they're speaking about the same thing. In West Africa, brothers and sisters are talking and walking the talk, basically, of getting back into our own self, getting our indigenous knowledge preserved, conserved, used, usable. So I just wanted to add that, the issue of centers, resource centers, whether they are libraries or granaries, or we keep seeds or keep various types of grains and okay, let me put it this way. All of it is relevant. I usually say in my poetry and some other writings that every word is a seed. Now, African words and African languages, they never die. I know people talk about the Meroitic script, the script from Sudan or the Nubia, Napata. They say it's a dead language. Yet the people that spoke it are still alive, but they speak a different language. They speak Arabic and they speak something else, right? So the point, though, is that in order to halt the cultural genocide and the cultural, I don't know what they call it, linguicide, things like linguicide. I even use the word seedicide, where we are losing seeds to multinational companies that want to patent every seed, want to sell it back to us and sell us fertilizers. So it's a multi-level approach. I'm grateful that we are thinking this way and we are thinking the same. All I can ask for is that the network deepens. We deepen our networks and we travel to each other so that we can hold each other across the continent and do this work that needs to be done, because the enemies of this work are great and many, and they are powerful. They have a lot of resources. They have a lot of money. The moment that they see someone rising in Kenya, there's going to be some negativity that's going to try and push it down. So in a nutshell, I just wanted to say, to give us strength, heart strength and mind strength and spiritual strength to do this work, because it's the work, it's not just preservation, it's life itself. Africa is the beginning of life, and there's no need for us to perish due to enemies of life that are all over the place, trying to make sure that every seed is bought and every seed is sold back to us. First, it comes with the selling of land and the stealing of land and the stealing of language and the stealing of our ideologies or stealing of our ideas about ourselves. So, and those ideas live in our language. So it's a multi-dimensional approach to getting back to ourselves. So I'm very happy. I just wanted to say, brothers, our brothers who are working in Kenya and everywhere else, and sisters too, let's connect together and make this network and make like such a network like ACOPPHE and what do you call it, the research mentorship program, the Nova, all these things. Let's just connect them just like they're connecting each other on the commercial side with the trade, what do they call it? The intercontinental trade routes, things like that, and the AFCDA, whatever they call it. The same level of professionality that is happening on a commercial and economic and political level. Let us be even better than that, because we are the organic ones. We are down here on the ground, making sure that our culture and our land and our seeds are restored. Sorry if I'm sounding like I'm speechifying, but I'm just moved deeply by this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Menzi. I mean, I think we need that. We need to go deeper, because this is a topic that runs very deep with us, and we are still battling a lot of the systems that aid in erasing us, and we still participate in them, in eroding these things. So I think it's very important that we actually go deep and keep trying to force out within ourselves those systems that enable the erosion, and fill ourselves with the systems that build these things that we want. Okay, Nasir, can I go to you since you had your hand up?
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Do you hear me?
yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Hello, everyone. I am called by the name Abdel Nasir Hassan, or you call me Nasir. And I'm a project manager by profession. I currently work with Kenya Red Cross. I'm a Kenyan, by the way. And I'm very glad that today I joined with these great-minded people. And I think the topic is more of indigenous and how we can have our culture and the language that we should have to keep it, the culture itself. And as if I may speak for my community, I'm a Somali. And I think we have some ways of keeping our culture, or having our, language to be still stronger, not to, being extinct. Some of us even have the gut to, write. We have others, so that at least we have our language still be existing. And when we talk of, language and, keeping the culture, it's a very good, initiative, since you should be very proud of your culture. You should be having your cultural events, maybe yearly or quarterly of the year, so that at least people will feel like your culture is still existing, and even others might come and admire it, or even some kind of tourist may attract and get good information from your culture. Like we Somali, we have some cultural events every 4 months, 5 months. We come, we share our culture, we keep and discuss how we can improve our culture, how we can still restore those the generations that are here currently. Our forefathers come and share the stories of our forefathers, and that means that we still keep our culture intact, so that we will not be be assimilated, or we will not be having our culture being terminated. I think there was also another. I am very glad that we have our brother who is having some good programs in herbal medicines. I don't know his name. I think he's Alfred. I think that guy is very much smart, and we should keep him, since sometimes it is very much necessary to have the herbal medicines, so that at least we will not be just depending on the manufactured ones and leaving the herbal. That's a very good idea. But I think I have no, I don't have much information, just the comments and the appreciation of being here. I think I have.
Thank you so much, Nasir, for your commentary. Very interesting to hear about what you're doing in Somalia and about what I mean, celebrating our culture and being proud of it and wearing it on our sleeves is very much a way of promoting who we are and our capabilities. So thank you so much for that comment. Colleagues, friends, family. I'm not sure what to call you, but you're all of that to me. If you're part of ACOPPHE, we have 3 minutes to 8 o'clock here in South Africa, which would be 6 p.m. GMT. I think if does anybody else have something else to say, I think we can, if you're okay to carry on the conversation for another, say, 20 minutes, or we look at rounding up. Nathan, Knight, what do you think? Nightingale?
Yeah, so I just want to say that I'm open to that. I personally have to make an admission that, confession that this is very much what I breathe. So I could
Yes.
keep on going and going. And so
Yes.
to honor everybody else's will, I think it would be good to close maybe in the next 5 or so minutes, or at least release those who need to go in
Yes.
about that time. And then whoever is able to keep going can stay with us so that we can have this conversation. So yeah, that's what I would say. But thanks for bringing
Yes.
it up. Yeah.
All right, I agree with you, Knight. Please, can I see a show of hands for all of those who agree that in about the next 5 minutes we round up and allow people to go, those who need to go, and have another extra 20 minutes for those who want to stay, just by show of hands. And then okay, okay, I'll see. Awesome. Okay. So I'll take one last question within this moment and then hand over to Night for her to do the official vote of thanks and closing. And then 20 minutes, we have an extra 20 minutes for those of us unofficially who want to carry on the conversation. So I saw a hand I think they've disappeared. It was Marus. I hope I am saying this correct. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Please, can you first tell me the pronunciation of your name and then proceed with your comment? Is it Marus? Am I talking to the right person?
I just want to come in and say, maybe Vedast, if you're still able, you and Maharus can work together, because I know Maharus is French speaking. So, and Vedast has been, yes.
Okay,
And I see
I am
he has
reading
written.
everything that Vedast is saying. I understand. It's just my speaking is bad, so I'll leave it to Vedast. My speaking of French is bad, but my understanding and reading is good. I can see what it. Vedast,
We
please.
must translate for each other.
Yes, that's what I'm asking Vedast. Okay,
Okay.
yes, okay.
I'm sorry, I did miss the last point. What would you want me to speak about? Sorry, I was busy with a little bit of a translation here.
Okay, so what word what's in what is the person's name again? It was Marus had their hand up, like they or started on the mic and they wanted to say something, but Nightingale jumped in. So now I'm calling on Marus to say something within this to close off for the official session. And I don't know if I'm saying the name wrong, or apparently you might not be understanding me because of the
You are on the
language.
way.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah,
There you go.
yes.
All right.
Good evening,
Go ahead.
everybody. I'm very happy to be here today. It is a very important meeting. We learn about that important topic, and Yeah, I really appreciate James and all the panelists. You did great job, guys, and really appreciate. So about the translation, I was thinking about, but I was really busy today. Even I didn't assist all the meeting in the from the beginning. I was really busy, so just now I make time to end it with you guys. So maybe next time we will catch up on time. Then we will be here for translating. But I saw the guy who is translating on the chat. He's doing great job. I really appreciate. And next time we will try to improve for the French speaking for the French speaker. So by the way, I say hi to my best friend Nathaniel, and also to his wife, and hope to see you very soon. And we have many things to do together as a health professional, and we hope we will talk later. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. How do you say your name again?
My name is Mahrous Hussein Yusuf. It is
Mahfuz.
an
Okay.
Arabic name. It is
Yes.
already complicated sometimes. Yeah, but just call
Mahruz.
me Mahrous. Mahrous. It's
Mahruz.
same.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Thank you.
right. No, I just wanted to say it right because I've never seen it before. I've seen Yusuf in, but the other two not so much. So now I know. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Let me hand over to Nightingale. Nightingale, can you please come in and do official closing, and then we can carry on our conversation for those of us who like to sing after hours.
Thank you so much, Walia, and for guiding us through this process, asking and inviting questions that have really needed to be asked and comments that have needed to be made. And at this point, as much as I feel a lot of us would like to continue having the conversation, we need to honor the time. We're 4 minutes past the hour, past the time that we had said we would end. And like Sister Walia said, we will stay and we will continue with the conversation with whoever has the time and the will. But for now, we would like to just say a few closing comments before we let everybody go. And I think I will ask Nathan or Walia or Tess, any of those who have been part of leading this program today, to post in the chat anything that you think needs to be said so that we make sure that we have communicated it. One of the things is that for World Environment Day on June 5th, there is a plan to have Myson and Mr. Olekisir host an event in Narok, which will be, this is in Kenya, Narok, Kenya. This will be in celebration for World Environment Day, and so it will be an intergenerationally led event by the indigenous community. So again, just walking the talk that we've talked about. So just be on the lookout. There'll be more coming. We'll have more conversations, and maybe we can have, like Menzi and Walia are talking and are suggesting, that we need to have a lot of these cultural engagements in different parts of Africa. Maybe we can start to have that in celebration of some of these important events from the African way, moving on and moving forward. So that's one of the things. I want to see if anything else has been posted by any of the other leaders. And I can also, yes.
Oh, I was just putting up my hand because I wanted
yes.
to talk a little bit about so the work that that Vanessa and I are doing with a family, an indigenous family from Calupalo in Brazil. who are trying to find ways to sorry, I've got a what do you call it? But anyway, they're trying to find ways to preserve their indigenous knowledge in terms of agriculture. Because after COVID, apparently a lot of the people in the community started to engage in unhealthy diets and eating because they were not allowed to really go out and that sort of stuff. So the increase of the so-called modern and civilized world started to creep up in their space. So like, shops and McDonald's and that sort of thing. And so they stopped farming and started looking more towards the food. And so it's raised a lot of illnesses within the community. And so we're looking at how we can, preserve the agriculture that they're doing and also encourage the people who create trinkets and I hate using words like that, but crafts. I also hate using words like craft as well, but for lack of a better word. Um, and so we're working with a family of this family has an engineer, um, has two educators who are in academia, and I can't remember what the other two are, but they live in the rural space, and so we're working with them to see how we can assist that. And for me, as an African on the African continent, and these are indigenous people, it's been very interesting to see the similarities in what we need, what they need to do is exactly what we are trying to do. Even the specific crop that we're looking at, which is cassava, which I know a lot about, just exchanging those methods as very on how we preserve it if you don't have a fridge, how we can process it in different ways so we don't waste any bit of it, and how we can regrow it in, for sustainability has just been so interesting to me to know that somewhere else in another part of the world, another indigenous group of people have similar concerns, trying similar things. So we don't have to do this alone. We can really pass around knowledge and share. I think we'll be so powerful if we unite. And I am saying this because as on the African continent as itself, as it's on its own, we have a reputation of not uniting because of ethnic groups, because of, politics and things like that. And it's all, that bad whisper of uh a sense of maybe superiority from one to the other and that sort of thing, and yet we're all striving for the same thing. So us doing this is bringing us together and making things so much more powerful, and worth it. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you so much, Walia. So that's very, very exciting. And I think we will be reaching out to you to have more conversation and to even see about the point of collaboration, a wider team of collaboration moving forward. I am interested, just to speak for myself. I see that Vedast, you have something that you would like to say. So if you can please take a
Yes,
minute.
1 minute. Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much for this productive meeting, bringing in a number of people from different parts of Africa. Here in the Netherlands, there is a man who has been championing equal trade between Europe and Africa, as well as between Africa and other parts of the world, but right now mainly between Africa and Europe. So he does possess a message that he wants to pass on to you through me. He could have attended this meeting, but he was not available. But what he's saying is trying to mobilize a number of people from different parts of the world by saying that we young generations, descendants of African, European, American, wherever, are the one who has the world in the hands, in our hands, and the problems that happen on one part of the world do really affect the whole world. So what can we do together? So he has been championing fair trade between Africa and Europe. So by trying to make people awake in terms of promoting indigenous knowledge, in terms of adding value addition from homes from Africa, but keeping ties with the very nature of Africa. So what we produce in Africa, how can we really add the value of them without losing the fundamental taste of them? So that's the message. So if it's possible, next time he will really attend the meeting and tell you a little bit more about his initiative. And I've been part of that initiative. And we are planning to keep involving a number of people from Africa and the rest of the world. And so people can start really even having businesses together, but keeping ties with fundamental Africanness. Thank you. That's the message. Okay, mon frère, okay, désolé, sorry a bit to translate for Sulaiman. Monsieur Sulaiman, j'ai évoqué qu'il y a un monsieur ici qui fait des activités collectives avec ses frères et sœurs ainsi que moi pour améliorer la promotion des produits africains, produits en Afrique, concernant l'addition de valeur de ces produits et fairness et la justice dans ce commerce. Comment les Africains bénéficient les produits mais au marché international concernant le prix juste, concernant le respect des droits des hommes, le respect des droits des travailleurs et tout ça concernant l'échange d'éducation. Voilà. Thank you.
D'accord, ok. Merci beaucoup. D'abord, ce que je propose, il faut promouvoir l'éducation environnementale et la sensibilisation des communautés locales en mettant l'accès l'importance de la durabilité et de la préservation des ressources naturelles. Il faut aussi mettre, ou bien vous allez traduire?
Well, so Mr. Suleiman does propose us or does argue that the first of all we need to promote environmental education and knowledge exchange on the environmental subject, and so that we get many more people educated in that area. Oui, ça suffit.
Il faut aussi mettre en place des programmes de formation et des partenariats pour renforcer les compétences des communautés locales dans les domaines tels que la gestion environnementale, l'agroforesterie et les pratiques durables. Ça, c'est un D.
Okay. Secondly, it is absolutely important to exchange skills, particularly at grassroots level, between the grassroots level communities, so that we get to a sufficient number of professionals in that sector where Africa does possess a number of several natural resource aspects.
Il faut encourager la collaboration entre les différentes communautés locales en mettant l'accent sur l'échange de connaissances et de bonnes pratiques pour relever les défis environnementaux communs.
So there has to be we have to encourage diversity between people, particularly at a grassroots level. So that people try to maximize their potentials. The overall help the entire community develop.
Il faut aussi proposer des initiatives visant à améliorer l'accessibilité de l'eau potable dans les régions touchées par la désertification ou l'insécurité alimentaire.
As well as many aspects, working on many aspects like those focusing on basic needs like clean water, as well and thereabout.
Il faut aussi mettre l'accent sur l'utilisation naturelle telle que les spiruline comme solution potentielle à l'insécurité alimentaire et promouvoir sa culture dans les régions concernées.
Okay, like somebody did touch upon it, there has to be the usefulness of these nutritional plants like spirulina, so that food supplements are in place to complement the insufficient or scarce food resources that we have now. So, Sulaiman, pouvez-vous parler en bref? Can you speak briefly so that we're gonna get to the end as soon as possible?
J'ai 2 points seulement à souligner, c'est tout.
Ouais.
Il faut encourager la préservation des connaissances indigènes et des langues locales en les intégrant dans le système éducatif et en les diffusant au sein des communautés et des réseaux professionnels.
Okay, so we have to encourage language diversity and incorporation of these languages, natural languages, in our educational systems, particularly at grassroots level.
Enfin, il faut proposer des programmes de reboisement et de plantation d'arbres résistants à la désertification en mettant l'accent sur l'implication des communautés locales dans la préservation de l'écosystème. Et je les remercie beaucoup.
Thank you. Merci. Finally, afforestation and reforestation for diversifying food resources, as forests can generate a number of opportunities in terms of accessing food, clean air, whatever, so on and so on. Thank you. That's it.
Merci
Thank
beaucoup.
you.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Merci.
Thank you so much to all of you. And we really appreciate you taking the time, a brother from Chad, and sharing with us, being very patient as we all spoke English and you waiting for translation. And thank you so much, Brother Vedast, for taking the time to do the translations. So, and we really appreciate the conversation on environmental stewardship, conservation of both language and the environment. So I think from here, I just want to say a few things that have been have been requested, and one of them is to just remind our community here that we will be having a Planetary Health Day or a Planetary Health event. I'm trying to get the date just real quick. And I think, Nathan, if you're on, you can also jump in, because I'm trying to see if I can find the dates that we have.
Yes. We have the monthly meetings on the first Friday of the month. So the next one is the 1st of March. Then there's the Planetary Health Annual Meeting in April in Malaysia, but there will be a virtual option to attend, and we're really looking forward to mobilizing people from the African continent and community to ensure that our solutions, our energy, our spirits is strongly represented in that space. Then the 5th of July is World Environment Day, and so we're planning a place-based planetary health gathering in Maisan and Mr. Ole Kasir's community in Masai land. And then later this year, we're looking at hosting a gathering in Kenya with further details to come. Hopefully that answered some of what you're referring to.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nathan, for sharing that information with us. And I think at this point, I will now come to bring us to the closure of this event, thanking all of you for sitting, for standing, for being with us and sharing from deep within your hearts, deep within your brains, because it's from the brain to the heart and from the heart to the brain that all this communication happens. And we look forward to further interactions. I think there has been an exchange of contacts between different people on this platform, which networking is one important factor. And we look forward to the fruits that are born from such conversations. So like we said, we are not closing, even though it's 24 minutes past the hour. Then the reason we're leaving this platform open is just in case there are a few people that may still want to continue this engagement. So if any of the speakers have time to stay a little bit more, maybe 10 more minutes, in case there are people who were either shy to speak when there's a bigger crowd or just didn't get the chance to share a few things, we will leave the platform open. But for now, it is me, Wakigera, saying asanteni sana, thank mono, for staying with us, sending you with lots of blessings from many different parts of our beautiful world. And you're welcome to put in some words in your own language, whichever language it is, just saying whatever you feel like sharing in chat as you leave. Like we said, knowledge is power, and language is powerful. And once you lose your language, a lot goes with it. So please actively put that in at least writing. If you want to say it, you're most welcome. It will probably sound jumbled up, but you can also shout it as you exit. And again, the platform will be open. Walia, if you have anything else to add, please feel welcome. I'll be on standby as we maybe give a moment of silence as well after the shout out in our languages, and then we will return probably in about a minute. But I say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Knight, for that. I really don't have much to say, but to thank everybody for coming to the meeting, and thank especially our presenters for those very thought-provoking presentations, and also for sharing what they're doing with us. And it makes me very proud to be an African and very proud to be part of this family. And I really hope we can engage further. I know we have our lives outside of what we do at ACOPPHE, but I think it's always important to make connections and touch base, and share with each other what we're up to, And I know that having our meetings are part of that, but I think it's important to, also reach out. I think if you want to reach out to someone specifically, we have our WhatsApp group. If you go and look at the members of the group and you want to talk to someone specifically, you can actually message the person from there. I don't know if that is available for all people or just the what you call it, the administrators, but I think anybody can go and look up somebody they want to speak to directly from there, or contact Nightingale or Nathan, and they will be able to give you um, or connect you with that person. So I think that's one of the first things that we would need to do to make sure that we get the ball running, is really to make connections, and that means really making sure we come through with participating and sharing whatever it is that we have done. uh, we share with each other and encourage each other and inspire each other. Nightingale has just posted in the chat actually that if you want to get in touch with anybody, uh, all the presenters from today, please from today, please contact them on ACOPPHE@gmail.com. That's our email address for ACOPPHE. It's just ACOPPHE, everything in small letters, ACOPPHE@gmail.com. And someone should get back to you quickly. So yes, thank you so much for coming through, for staying with us, and we can carry on with the conversation if you want to stay. Thanks. Nathan, I don't know if you have something to say.
Just thank you all, and sending love and gratitude near and far, inside and out. Asanteni-san.
Leongo, how do you say asante or thank you in Sisulu or Kosa?
Oh, so in Zulu you would say Siyabonga.
Siyabonga.
Siyabonga, yes. And in Xhosa you would say Siyabulela. I speak a lot of languages. I speak a lot of languages. So in my home language, yeah. So in my home languages, which is Bemba from Zambia, you will say Twatotela sana.
Bemba.
Yes, Bemba.
And okay, in Zambia.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. We say Ashe Oleng in Masai.
Ashe. Look, Ashe Oleng. Nice.
Ashe Oleng. So when you go to any Sulural or Hosa, maybe, I don't know, because they are very similar. The settlement of South African people and the Eastern people from Maasai people of East Africa are more similar.
Yes.
So when you go there, say Sopa Oleng.
Okay. I would make sure I do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I enjoy exchanging that languages and the conversation, so I will do that. Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, everybody in the chats. Merci beaucoup to all the people who came and listened to us in English. I'm still speaking in English, but we're grateful. Thank you. Alfred, apparently your hand is up. Is it a new hand or an old hand, Alfred? Alfred.
No, your pants.
Okay. Nasir wants to say something.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you very much for hosting this great event today, great session. Really, we exchange a lot. be it locally or internationally. And I want to say all the best and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. In Somali, we say, Mahat Senit. Thank you.
Say that again.
We say, Mahat Senit. Mahat Senit.
Mahatsini. Okay. Thank you.
Somali. Yeah, in Kenya, we say,
Please, please,
Asante
please
sana.
write these. Can you please write these in the chat? James and Nasir, please write them in the chat.
Okay.
Anybody else want to say something?
And Swahili, we say, Asante sana.
Yes, Swahili is like very close to my language, so and the sana part is the same. So asante sana, yes, that. So we put that.
But I'm Kenyan Somali nationally.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Very
Somali by tribe, but Kenyan by national.
Oh, hey, we seem to be a lot of people who are many things, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because you create a specific and unique kind of way of seeing the world, um, and you build your own way of knowledge. So very good thing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alfred.
Yeah, awak sode lamo. That's how we say it in Rendile.
Okay, say it slowly. I was asking people to write them in the chat. I've seen Nasir's one. Thank you, Nasir.
I'll repeat once more. We say awak sode lamo.
Allah sodiramo.
Awak.
Allah.
Awak. Awak.
Allah.
Awak sode lamo.
Allah. Okay, thank you so much.
I can see someone who told me, are you in WhatsApp group? Is there any WhatsApp group that is there?
Oh, we have a coffee WhatsApp group.
No, I'm not there. Any admin?
You're not in the group. Okay. Tess, if you're still here, can you please add Nasir to the WhatsApp group?
Okay. Tess,
We will work on that. Abdi.
Okay.
Nasir.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that. And I also see Lauren had her hand up. I don't, and there are a few people. Yeah, we
Okay.
will add you.
Lauren, yes, go ahead. Okay, Lauren just posted her number, so we can add. Okay, anybody else want to say something? Khadija? Who else am I seeing? Tara?
I just wanted to say asante sana from Mombasa, Kenya.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Khadija, for coming. We hope to hear you next time.
Joined in very late.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to go to Narok. It will be a great experience.
Wonderful. I'm also looking forward to going to Nairobi myself. So I hope we will
Karibu
meet
Narok.
there.
Karibu Narok.
Welcome to Nairobi, madam. Welcome to Nairobi. When you come to Nairobi, can you please catch up? We will find.
Yes.
Can I please say something short, if I may? So maybe there are some other people who want to join our WhatsApp groups. Could you please share your WhatsApp number, telephone numbers, please?
Okay. Nathan, did you hear that request?
Yes, working on it. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, all the best, guys. All the best. Now let me leave. I wish you all the
Thank you so much. Is Alfred still here? Or he's gone?
He just left. I saw him leaving.
Oh, okay. I had wanted to ask him about this preservation artifacts and like what they do because I wanted to know, for instance, with the meat one, is it meat that will it dry or will it be fresh meat, or there's a method that Ubaba Credo Mutwa speaks about of putting meat in the ground, and the more that it kind of goes off, the better it is for actually cooking. And then there's our methods of preservation, which is to just dry, like we dehydrate things. So we dehydrate vegetables, we dehydrate um, meat, we just dehydrate things. And then when we need to eat them, we rehydrate them. So I wanted to just ask him how that method works. If anybody else knows, it would be, please can you let me know? It would be interesting to just hear. Pardon? Hello?
I may, I may go in to answer your question. With Alfred during the Week Africa Climate Summit. They were exhibiting beside me. I think Kara can answer that more. The only thing I know about the product is that they are dried up and then they make the medicine out of it. But I can see
okay.
maybe Ras can explain more on it because they were part of the team who were exhibiting the product.
Oh, okay. So I didn't really hear you that much because you sound muffled, but if I heard you, you also said you dehydrate things. So you dry them as well.
Yeah. They're being dried first and then they were put in the containers. I can't I, I can't really explain how they were because I just saw them there as a perspective of being the customer, and also they were my neighbors who were exhibiting together. So I have no further information on it. That's why I'm asking whether Kara Waitaka can explain more on it because his colleague, his Alfred's colleague.
Okay, got it. That's very interesting. Mm. Very, very interesting. Right. Does anybody else have something to share? Or am I not? Otherwise, if not, hold on before that.
I think
Let me just save the
Wadia,
chat. Yes.
I can just come in and say Asante Sana again, and I just want to let you know that I'll leave you to do the closing because I have Rahema, my 9-year-old who needs to go home and we have a distance to cover. So Asante Sana for everything, and we will reconnect again soon in similar conversations.
Wonderful. Not a problem. Hold on, I just want to actually save the chat and then I think I could let everybody go. So if nobody has something to share, now I think we can all log off. I mean, we've been here for a while. I hope you all ate your supper. If you haven't, it's time to go and have supper. But I'm so glad to have met all of you, and I hope to see you again in all our other gatherings. And to really hear your input and ideas, and to just enjoy the spirit of engaging with all of us. So I look forward to that. If there's nothing further, Nathan, would you like to close, and then we can just log off? or you're busy?
Just sending love and light to everyone and gratitude for what has been shared. I feel great hope and optimism, and I'm looking forward to the journey ahead and specific points in time when we will reconnect again and co-create a beautiful, loving, just, and fair world. Asante Nisan.
Thank you, Nathan. All right, with that, everyone, thank you so much. And Kara, why does your number look like a South African number? Sorry I just picked that up now in the chat. Because if you're here, then we should connect. Anyway.
I had added the prefix plus 254.
Pardon?
I had added the prefix of plus 254.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. It's just starting with 072. So I'm like, this sounds like it looks straight up like it's a number from here. Okay. We should still
Thank
connect anyway, because I'm sure you have some wonderful things to share about what you do. So thank you for being here.
Thank you too.
Great. All right, with that, I think we should close. So Nathan, are you able to end the meeting?
Yes, I'll end it now. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.